Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the effects of emotional abuse from parents. If you find this video informative, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Childhood emotional abuse is any type of abuse that involves the continuous emotional ill treatment of a child. It involves a parent deliberately trying to control their child by using emotions to criticize, scare, embarrass, shame, blame, isolate, ignore, or otherwise manipulate a child. There is a consistent pattern of abuse and bullying words and behaviors that decrease a person's self esteem and impair their mental health. Emotional abuse is one of the hardest forms of abuse to recognize. It is often subtle and sneaky, but can sometimes be obvious and manipulative. Either way, it chips away at the child's confidence and they begin to doubt their perceptions and reality. Eventually, the child feels trapped. Emotional abuse is a form of family violence that leaves no visible marks or bruises. Instead, the wounds are invisible to others, hidden in the self doubt, worthlessness, and self loathing the survivor feels. Here are the 5 effects of emotional abuse from parents. 1. Difficulty feeling, expressing, and controlling emotions. Do you have difficulty identifying what emotion you are feeling? Do you have rapid mood swings or suddenly become very irritable? Parental emotional abuse can have a very damaging effect on the child's emotional development. Long term emotional abuse can damage the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that manages emotions, and can also result in increased activity in the amygdala, which is responsible for processing emotions. Children who are survivors of such abuse can have conflict in their friendships, problems relating to others, trouble at school, and can experience emotional outbursts. When you are not in tune with your emotions, you have difficulty making decisions or have success in relationships. Some survivors of abuse often develop a condition called alexithymia, which is an inability to experience, identify, and express emotions. Such people may have problems with introspection or observing their own mental and emotional processes, experience confusion around bodily sensations connected to emotions, and struggle to communicate their emotions to others. Children who suffer from emotional abuse may not recognize their parents' actions as abuse and may develop such difficulties as a coping technique or defense mechanism in order to either seek to master, minimize, or tolerate the stress or conflict that they feel. 2. Inability to concentrate. Do you have difficulty maintaining your attention or focusing on a task? Without concentration, we can't think clearly or make decisions. You need concentration to get through school every day. And if you can't concentrate, it can lead to a bad performance at school. Many people who suffer from emotional abuse report that they have a hard time paying attention or concentrating while completing daily tasks. This is often the result of being very anxious. 3. Fear and confusion. The effects of emotional abuse can be painful and destructive, both in the short and long term. Survivors are often plagued by low self esteem, anxiety, depression, and confusion. Loving someone who hurts you can be very confusing. Many experience deep shame, guilt, and self loathing, in part because these are feelings the abuser has deliberately cultivated in them. Often, fear and confusion drive children to stay silent about their experiences and may act as a barrier to asking for help. An emotional abuser's goal is to undermine the other person's feelings of self worth and instill fear in them. They control the child by making threats, such as threats of self harm, harm to the child, or harm to their loved ones, including their pets. These children live in a constant state of fear and confusion. They are constantly on alert and unable to relax, no matter the situation, and they feel fearful most or all of the time. 4. Difficulty forming healthy relationships. Emotional abuse can interfere with the child's ability to form and maintain healthy attachments. Attachment issues in early childhood have been linked to insecure attachments in adulthood. These children also might be at an increased risk for poor peer relations, trouble with intimacy, difficulty with conflict resolution, and relational aggression. 5. Mental health problems. Parental emotional abuse, whether it's cruel teasing or invalidating words, is a significant predictor of mental health problems in children and later in adulthood. Recent evidence suggests that emotional dysregulation and interpersonal problems play an important role in the relationship between childhood abuse and depression and anxiety. Ill treatment of children and adolescents is also linked to higher rates of suicide and substance abuse. Trauma and abuse lives in our bodies. The brain rewires in response to trauma and abuse, especially when it happens in our formative years while our brains are still developing. When someone experiences perpetual and repeated abuse, especially in childhood, it can create a painful internal structure that can be incredibly difficult to navigate. In such cases, there are various potential support networks that a person can lean on. Some ways to seek help without professional intervention include seeking advice from a trusted family member or friends. A trusted teacher or school counselor may also be able to help. If you or anyone you know is these are the short and long-term effects of emotional abuse from parents. If you found this video informative, please like it and subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.